Hey guys, it's Sam here from Song 101, and in this video we're going to be talking about how rappers such as Eminem are able to find so many rhymes for use within their songs. We're going to be looking at the 5 main types of rhyme and seeing this stuff in context, so hopefully you can start using it in your songs. Let's go. Okay, before we begin, I just want to say if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. We teach all sorts of songwriting stuff here, from writing melodies, production, music theory, so if that's your kind of bag, then please hit the subscribe button below. That'll be wicked. So today we are talking about rhyme. Now most people have an idea of what they think rhyme is, but what most people don't know is actually there are different types of rhyme, there are different gradations of rhyme. And we're going to start with the strongest type, and this is called perfect rhyme. So perfect rhyme is the type of rhyme that you are taught when you're in primary school. It's the type of rhyme that you do when you play drinking games like Ring of Fire or King's Cup, I think it's called in America. So you pick up a 9 and you have to bust a rhyme. So I might say bat, the next person says cat, then it's hat, and it goes on like that. They're all perfect rhymes. The reason they are perfect rhymes is because they share the same vowel. In this case it's a. They have the same vowel sound, and they have the same consonant at the end, which is a t in this instance. So we have hat, cat, bat. They all have the at sound at the end. So they share the same vowel sound and the same consonant at the end. The only difference is the starting consonant. So that's a perfect rhyme. That's our strongest type of rhyme. Now perfect rhymes have a place, but they have 2 major drawbacks. The first one is that perfect rhymes sound cliche. They're just very predictable. If you're using nothing but perfect rhymes, it's easy for the listener to guess what the next lyric is going to be. And that's just not good. It's like getting to the punchline before it's been delivered. It just takes all of the funniness out of it. The same is true for lyrics. The second drawback is that it limits you in what you're able to say. So for instance, in that example we had hat, bat, mat, cat. And then I'm kind of out. Now if that's all I've got to play with in terms of lyrics, if that's all Eminem was able to use, I mean, he wouldn't be able to find so many rhymes. So perfect rhymes, they have a place, but they come with their drawbacks. Okay, the second type of rhyme then is something called family rhyme. And this is where 2 words share the same vowel sound, but they have a different consonant at the end, but it still belongs to the same consonant family. So let's take a look at the consonant families. Firstly, we have plosives. Now plosives are sounds which have an explosion of air along with them. So like b, g, d, p, t. They all have this air that comes out at the end of them. Okay, the second family then are called fricatives, and these are the high frequency kind of sounds like f, s, sh, v. Them kind of sounds, they're called fricatives. And the third family are called nasals, and these are things that are produced through the nose like anything that's like a humming kind of sound. Okay, so an example of family rhyme would be mat and bad. Now these 2 words have the same vowel sound, which is a, but they have different consonants at the end, which are still part of the same family. Okay, the third type of rhyme then, this is something called additive or subtractive rhyme. And this rhymes a little bit less than family rhyme. So additive and subtractive rhyme is where the vowel sound is the same and the consonants at the end are generally the same or part of the same family, but there's been another consonant added to one of the words or subtracted from one of the words. So an example would be gas and mask. In that instance it's additive because we've added a K on the end of the as sound. Gas, mask. So very similar. Another example of subtractive rhyme would be feet and me. Feet, me. We've taken away the T, so we're just left with the E sound. Really simple, that's additive and subtractive rhyme. It rhymes a little bit less than family rhyme. Okay, the fourth rhyme type is called assonance. And don't worry if you're getting lost at this stage, we're going to recap all of these at the end. But assonance is where 2 words share the same vowel sound, but they have unrelated consonants at the end. So for instance, gas and mad. The end, the very last consonants, they don't sound similar at all. S and d. Don't sound similar, but they share the a vowel sound in that instance. So that's assonance. That's one of my favourite types of rhyme. That is the 4th rhyme type. Okay, and finally we have the 5th rhyme type, which is consonants. And this is where words share the same consonant sounds, but the vowel sounds are different. So for instance, kit and cat, book, back, lust, lost. They're all examples of consonants. Now, most people don't consider this to be rhyme whatsoever, but you can't argue that the words, they sound more similar than, for instance, like book and table. Book and table don't sound similar whatsoever, whereas book and back, they have this very, very loose rhyme, and we call that consonants. So an example of consonants is alliteration, so like perfect Peter, or I don't know, beautiful Beth, where they start with the same letter. That's a very loose example of consonants. Okay, now we've covered the 5 main rhyme types. Let's take a look at one of Eminem's biggest songs called Lose Yourself and see if we can spot them. Okay, I've got the lyrics up here on my phone. Let's take a look at the first 2 lines. We've got the words sweaty and spaghetti. That's a perfect rhyme because that's the kind of thing that you could do if you were a child in primary school. Sweaty spaghetti, that rhymes. However, in between that, we've got this family rhyme between sweaty and already. So they have the same vowel sounds, but they have different but related consonant sounds. So that's an example of family rhyme. We also have, what have we got? Sweaty and heavy. That's an example of assonance. Sweaty, heavy. One's a plosive, one is fricative. So they're not exactly related, but they have this common vowel sound. We also have this rhyme between arms and mums, which in my accent, they don't rhyme. But in an American accent, I think it's a perfect rhyme. Please correct me if I'm wrong if you live in America, but if I say arm and mom, that's my terrible American accent, they sound very similar to me. So yeah, any Americans watching, please let me know if it's a perfect rhyme, if it's a family rhyme, tell me what you think. Okay, a little bit further down we have some subtractive rhyme between ropes and dope. So the S has been dropped, but the up sound is still identical. So that's just the first verse, and straight away we can see 4 different types of rhyme within that first verse. Now if we look at the second verse, we can see a lot of use of consonants. So let's take a look at that. So take a look here at how many words start with the letter H. We've got harder, hotter, him, he, home, ho. I mean, there's just so many words there that start with the letter H, and it's not that common a letter really. A little further down we've got some more examples. We've got best believe, paying the Pied Piper. You know, you can hear it, it's paying the Pied Piper, you can hear all these P's. Teeter totter, that's actually strict consonants, that one. Teeter totter, they have exactly the same consonants but different vowels. Feet fail me not. It just adds this nice sound to it. It's not a strict rhyme, but the alliteration is just really pleasant on the ear. Okay, so with all that said, do I think that Eminem is sitting down and going, I need to use more assonance here, I need to use more family rhyme here? No, I don't. I think what he's probably doing is aiming for assonance because that gives the illusion of rhyme, but it allows for the most choice of words. And because his lyrics are so fast and they come at you so quickly, he needs a lot of words to play with. So I would say he's aiming for assonance. So for you songwriters out there, how do you go about finding assonance rhymes? The way that I would recommend doing this is to take your word or your group of words and just strip them of any consonants that they have. So for instance, if we take the word gravity, we're going to take away the consonants, we get a-e, a-e. And then think about, well, which of those vowels have the most stress? A-e. It's kind of the first and the last. The it in the middle is so small, so short, it's kind of just like a-e, a-e. So instead of gravity, we've got a-e. And that's what you'd start with. So then I'm going to read some of Eminem's examples here. You can literally fill in the blanks with any consonants and it just allows you so much lyrical choice. So for instance, he's using rabbit he, mad but he, that easy, have it he, that's when it. Okay, that's a loose one, that's when it, but the way he's singing it, and because it's so fast, that works. Rhapsody, capture this, etc, etc. Some that I quickly came up with: fast but clean, bad and keeps, calamity, again, etc, etc. I'm sure there's thousands and thousands. What this does is it allows you to have lyrical freedom. So in conclusion then, we have 5 main rhyme types, and they are perfect rhyme, family rhyme, additive subtractive rhyme, assonance rhyme, and consonance rhyme. And each one rhymes a little bit less than the previous. Now if you're into rap music, if you're into this kind of style, I would just use all of them. Don't worry about which one you're going to use. Whereas if you're into more traditional music, which has is a bit more melodic, then you kind of need to know which one is which, so you know when to use each one. And that's it for today. I hope you've learned something from this video. If you have any questions, then please leave me a comment below. Whilst you're down there, if you could hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button, that would be wicked. That way I can see you in the next one. Adios.